Welcome to your DNN news station. Bringing you news that you don't know what to do. And now for your Addlepated panel.
And welcome to the Addlepated panel. I'm Candace Banford. And with me today is Faye Knitt and Cheryl Hussein is Wong. Today we are discussing the topic of what to look for in a presidential candidate. This is very important in our society right now. And I'm not quite sure what Mr. Time was talking about, but as for we, as the experts on this, we will give you our ideas of what that is. I think first, just to state, someone who looks good is what America is looking for. And I'm very excited with at least one of the candidates we have this year because he's a looker. Faye?
Okay, I think this is a very important topic that we're talking about, and I'm glad you brought it up, Candace.
Yes.
And I couldn't disagree with you more, though, on one point. I think not just to focus on the entire look, but something very specific, and that would be his smile. Does the candidate have a good smile? That is what America wants.
I don't know, Faye. I think really what we're looking for is someone who looks good in a suit. Someone who can walk the catwalk of life, take a photo, and keep moving.
It is true that, think about it, his face is going to be plastered all over the United States, possibly on a dollar bill. Do we want someone who doesn't have a great smile?
Well, look who's on the dollar bill now. Not real attractive, but a great man. Great man. I'm going to give him that. So I think another thing that we possibly might be looking for, in fact, I feel quite passionate about it, is someone who can be very persuasive on things they don't even know what they're talking about. I mean, some may call that lying, but not me. No, not me. I think someone who can persuade me into thinking something that I can't even understand is just fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of my ex-boyfriends. He says it's about how he says it.
How he says it.
We need a smooth talker that can look at you in the camera, that can just tell you whatever he's saying. We're not even listening because he sounds so good.
And looks good.
And looks good with that white
we like
teeth,
someone
great
who smiles
smile.
good, yes.
We vote for people like that. I mean, think about it. Has an ugly person ever even won American Idol? I don't think so.
Good point. People, I want you to focus here when you're deciding on your president. Someone who's persuasive, who can smooth things over and make it all sound good. Don't you want a leader like that? That you don't have to worry about all the problems. Let the government worry about the problems. Let us news people worry about the problems. We'll bring it straight to you just how you want to hear it. We want a president who's persuasive.
You know, this is not a new concept for America. I mean, I believe it was probably 8, maybe 16 years ago. We had a candidate that was running, and I'll tell you, his hair color changed just about every time he was on television. So, you know, people know. He understood the importance of appearance and what the American public was looking for. I think the other thing is we need someone who is a little unclear. You know, doesn't really give you straightforward insight into the economy, into the world, foreign affairs, what's going on. We need someone who can kind of, just tell you what you want to hear. Personally, I like someone that I can just give them money and they give me what I want.
Yeah, that's prostitution.
Isn't that called PAC? PAC something?
Yes, it's called PAC money. PAC money. And some people would say that is just, unethical. Personally.
What is that again?
PAC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pac-Man?
No, not Pac-Man. It's PAC money.
PAC money.
PAC money. Yeah, and I like it because, if you want something done, you can just give that person money and they will make it happen.
Wow.
Again, Candace, prostitution.
That's called change.
Well, it is change. It is change, right? That's true change.
Going back to a president being unclear.
Change. Money. Change.
righty.
Okay.
Let's pull
You're
it together.
so witty.
Let's pull it together.
Oh my.
I know. I know. What can I say?
So,
About being unclear.
yes.
Back to that. I think it is so important that we really have no idea what a president is talking about. I don't think he needs to be of much substance.
It's
You know, I would personally like him to be saying something in one side of the country and then going to the opposite side of the country and saying something completely different, because I don't think it's important for us to really understand where he stands.
It's true. And let's make it personal, okay? In high school, when you're voting for homecoming king, do you really believe what they're telling you? I mean, it's
Like
all
they're gonna
about
call you the
popularity.
next night?
Yeah,
That doesn't
it's about popularity. I mean, what we want in America is someone who looks good,
Yes.
says what we want them to say, and is popular.
Yes.
Popularity is completely, they just can't rate it high enough.
No.
Well, and I think it brings us to thinking about what's today. What's the in thing today? Today is about popularity. That's why we go to television and movies. We care about what people look like and how we feel about them on screen.
And Faye, how do you like to feel?
Oh, this is one of my favorite topics, and I will share it with you out in public, because I think you'll agree with me on this one. When I look at a candidate and he looks back at me through the screen, I mean, I love it when he gives me that big white smile. I just like to stare at him. I feel like he can see me through the camera. It's like a moment, him and I, together.
It's always a moment with
That's
you.
all I'll say on that one.
She's always having a moment.
Well, I like to be stared at myself.
I bet you do.
I think another thing Americans want is maybe someone who maybe is even just a fraction of a minority. I think this is a
Good point.
This is a good point to bring up.
This is important. This is absolutely important because I am 50% Asian. I'm half Asian.
Not exactly. You
No,
are
not
6.25% Asian, and that's a fraction of an Asian.
Asian.
Well, I don't know where you're getting these figures, but nonetheless, just because my grandmother's grandmother's grandma was born in China doesn't mean that I'm not.
Chinatown.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Once
sure.
again, whatever. Like, why? What is the big
It's
difference?
true, because we love you.
I know.
I mean, you're popular
I
here.
am popular.
You're popular
I
here.
was nominated for prom.
So now we're talking about relatives. Okay, relatives in disruptive factions throughout the world. Is it or is it not a detriment to vote for somebody who has family members in disruptive factions? And we won't say cells, but is it or is it not?
Absolutely not. I mean, how could that be a bad thing? How could that be a negative? I mean, if we want our president to be able to, say, go have lunch with one of his family members and possibly discuss foreign affairs, wouldn't it be better if they had some sort of relationship?
True. Interesting thought on that, Cheryl.
Well, I think too. I mean, think about it logically, people. If let's say your president has his family members that are not so good people, and they're involved with not so good things in other countries, and your president sits down with them, I mean, with his great smile and good personality, persuasive, and tells them what they want to hear, I mean, that's going to change that person. They're not going to be a bad person anymore.
I agree.
And they're not going to be a threat to our country.
After enough talk time, I think issues really do get resolved. Great smile, talk time. We're on our way.
I mean, I think the bigger vision here is world peace.
Yes.
It's
That's
all
right.
right. Let's keep it in perspective. Popularity, world peace.
Yes.
Because people can get along.
Yes.
Let's talk about someone who can organize community.
Organization. I'm
Organization.
so glad you brought this up.
Thank you, Faye. I knew someone would appreciate my in-depth research here.
Organization. Think about it. All these bad people running around. We have a president who's really good at organization and getting people to do what they want. He wants them to do. You know what? We got an organizational world. We got the whole world organized. All these bad people put in their little categories.
This is really good.
This is groundbreaking.
Well, I will tell you on that note, all right, and we'll just go ahead and say it because we have, in conclusion, policy to ponder.
My favorite time of the day.
It is. It's good. It's good time. Good times.
Policy to ponder.
Good times. Okay, so our policy to ponder today is Are the Democratic people truly for the people if they continue to represent the majority of the minority? Think about that. And if so, shouldn't we change the name to Minocratic Party? Again, with the parties. But we need a party planner. Thank you for joining us today. This is your DNN News, your Addlepated panel.